Hello, my loves. Welcome to Mind Body Monday. And if you are new here or to me, my name is Casandra MacAlan, and I am the inventor and practitioner of something I call thought pain therapy. And that basically means that the power of your thoughts affects your beliefs, and those beliefs affect your actions and your outcomes in positive and negative ways. So understanding how your thoughts can affect your body and how you can shift them to heal is what my practice is based around. So today I want to talk to you about the healing power of belief. And one of my favorite quotes around this is Henry Ford, who said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're usually right." And I love that quote because it's a reminder of whether or not we think something's possible will absolutely affect whether or not the outcome is something that we desire. So I also want to mention a little bit about the difference between, and how I see the difference between belief and faith. So I think of belief as something that exists on behalf of us, within us, and for us, versus faith is more about something that exists on behalf of something else. So when we believe something is possible, that is something we've decided within ourselves. When we have faith that something will happen, that's generally something that means we're giving credit to some power beyond us. So today we're going to talk about belief and the fact that we must believe in a possibility of something before we could actually create it. So if you think about this, it comes down to the fact that if you have something in your life, something that you want to heal, you absolutely have to believe that you have the possibility to heal that and can heal that before you can make any changes in your life that could do so. Because we cannot embody what we don't believe in. And the word embody in this way means to be an expression of, or give a tangible or visible form to an idea, a quality, or a feeling of being. So let me give you an example of belief. Let's say that you and I are out to lunch, and I say that I've hidden a $100 bill somewhere, and if you can find it, it's yours. Well, I imagine that you would pretty actively search for it because you believe it's possible. But if I told you I'd hidden $1 million somewhere, you probably would just kind of smirk at me and shake your head, right? You wouldn't believe it's possible, so you would give no effort to the finding of it. Well, the same thing kind of happens when we think about our abilities to heal. Another example might be if you've lost something. So have you ever lost something and been sure that it was gone forever or stolen versus just misplaced it? Well, you probably found that if you did end up finding that thing, which you thought it was stolen or lost forever, you were completely shocked and surprised. Versus if you thought you just misplaced it, you probably held in the back of your mind the belief that you would come across it. And you just had to give it some time before you stumbled onto it. Something that you believe is unavailable is not something that you can easily access. I also want to talk about the difference between our internally driven and externally driven narratives. So this is especially important if you have a diagnosis, whether that's anxiety, depression, or heaven forbid, chronic disease or a chronic illness. If you have been to somebody, a doctor, a practitioner, and they have told you that you are very ill, that you have this condition or these symptoms that will mean that you have this label, and they've given you descriptions of it and how it will affect your body, whether or not you have a likelihood of curing it, the more they have told you and formed this narrative about your health or lack thereof, the more difficult it often is to get back to a belief that it is something that can be cured within yourself, that you could in fact believe something different. One of the problems we have with our belief is something that I like to call the jinx effect. And jinx actually has its Latin roots in to cast a spell. And in dealing with a lot of people over these past 2 decades and their health, one of the things I've seen is that a lot of people are afraid to believe, to talk about, to share positive things or things they want or desire in their lives, for fear that if they talk about it or if they want it too much, it means it's not going to happen. So an example of this is I have a very close friend, sister of my soul, who is one of the most brilliant people I've ever known or met. And she wanted something very badly. And she was actively doing the work to pursue that, but never mentioned it to anyone. And when it so happened that she was able to acquire it, she mentioned afterwards that she'd been working for months to do this. And when I asked her, why didn't you ever mention this? I would have loved to put my faith behind it. I would have loved to work on behalf of creating this for you. She said she was afraid she would jinx it. And she's not superstitious. So a lot of people have this fear that if they think about something that they want and they talk about something that they want, it somehow pushes it beyond arm's reach. And it's the exact opposite. A more disheartening example would be some clients that I've worked with that have healed from cancer. And I have asked them if they would consider themselves cured. And they immediately withdraw from that bold, if you will, statement of health. Now, when I ask them if they think they have cancer, they immediately say no. And when I ask them if they've healed, they would say yes. But to say they're cured seems frightening. Too much to ask for. And they don't want to jinx it. So we have to look at the fears that we have of desiring something so greatly that we're afraid to speak of it or to share it. Because to visualize your truest expression of self, and by that I mean the reason you're here, why you have manifested, what your purpose is, what you are here to create, to experience, to embody, requires your belief. And you've probably heard the term, we have to visualize to actualize, which means you have to think about it in order to have it. Or the phrase, you have to see it to be it. And that means you have to imagine yourself in that place. So if you are struggling with anxiety or depression or anger issues or health issues of any kind, belief is the first thing you must have. In fact, I'd be willing to say it's the most important thing you must have. Because if you don't believe you can be healthy, if you don't believe you can be free of whatever it is that makes you unhappy, you can't acquire it. It forever remains outside of your reach. So let's say you're in a tremendous amount of pain and you say to me, Cass, it's really hard for me to believe I'm going to be out of pain when I wake up and go to bed in pain every day. Or it's hard for me to believe that I would be happy when I struggle with depression and anxiety every day. Absolutely. And the first step would never be to think you have to take a leap from feeling suffering every day to imagining no suffering in your life, because perhaps that leap seems too broad. So instead, start with little shifts of consciousness. So instead of focusing, for instance, on how much you hurt, or how sad you are. Focus on the moments that you don't. And you might say things to yourself like, I love these moments that I feel good. I love the fact that I was able to do this thing that I didn't think I could do. I'm so excited that I know that I can walk to the kitchen and back without pain, that I can go to the store without anxiety sometimes. Doesn't have to be every time, but sometimes. See that little jump? And then from that, maybe a little bit more of a jump. I know that if I can do it once, I can do it again. I know that it's possible that I could feel better tomorrow. In fact, I believe that I will be feeling better. Why would you not want to believe that, right? Again, we're not going to worry about jinxing it because we know that doesn't happen. We know we have to visualize to actualize. We have to see it to be it, that we embody our beliefs. So just these small little steps at first. They don't have to be grand. You don't have to completely swap your mindset. But you do have to work at changing your thoughts and watch the patterns of your thoughts and try to really shift out of focusing on everything you don't like, because we see more of what we focus on, right? When you're unhappy about something, you might notice that when you look around you, you see more of it, because the universe wants to validate us and we like to be right. So if you can begin by making tiny little shifts of just believing in feeling a little bit better and imagining that, you may find that those thoughts will shift the beliefs, which will shift your actions, which will shift your outcomes. So I hope that makes sense. And what I've shared with you today, and I've decided to share with you over the next few weeks, is little bits of a masterclass that I'm putting together that I will share the date for on this Free the Wisdom to Heal the Body group. And those of you who follow me are welcome to join for free. And I'm going to help give you more ideas on how you can visualize your healthiest self and step into the power of feeling better, because you deserve it. And speaking as someone who was diagnosed with an incurable and crippling autoimmune disease and healed herself. So the doctor sent me home because I no longer have any signs. I know whereof I speak, and I know this is possible. So I hope you will continue to join me and share in the comments any questions you have, or comments or criticisms. Like, fight me on this. Let's talk about it. Where are you stuck? I'd love to know. So before I end today, I will go down and see if anyone has made a comment. And I'll also continue to stop by over the course of the week and check if any other comments are made, if you have any specific questions that you would like an answer to. And as always, if you want to talk to me privately, I will post a link in the chat where you can schedule a free 30-minute discovery session, and hopefully I can help you change at least one thing that's really bothering you in your life right now. So let's see if anybody has any questions for today. Oh, Kim, you finally get to watch it live. Yay! I hope it was worth it. I hope you got something. Emily said, Cass, you've been instrumental in helping me make changes in my life. Wow. I've gained so much insight into myself and have a new belief in myself. Not to mention, I've lost 30 pounds since our work started together. Thank you. I hope this link can help others. Oh, yay. I love you. Well, Emily was sweet enough to post a link to all of my offerings, which means my YouTube channel where I will repost these lives, my website, and also a place where you can schedule a free discovery session, which is how my work started with her. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. And Randall said, totally agree. I'm not sure on what, but I'm just going to take it to mean everything. And yeah. Susan said, thank you so much. This is so valuable. Oh, I'm glad. Karma said, amazing. And please put a link. Emily did that. Susan said, I can't wait to get back to our sessions once I'm past this COVID. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And as we've talked about regarding COVID, the first thing you need to do is believe that this is not something that is, for heaven's sakes, going to cause you lasting harm or put you in the hospital. Instead, your body is healthy and strong, and you will heal from this quicker than you expect. And I think I'll end with that thought today, because sometimes when I'm really having a hard time fighting my mind for positive thoughts and beliefs, I have a phrase that I use for myself, and it goes something like, it'll be easier than I expect. It'll be better than I imagine. It'll be more enjoyable than I hope. So if you, like me, sometimes get stuck in your head and have that monkey mind chattering about all the ways things could go wrong, then maybe try that. Just tell yourself, it'll be better than I think it will be. All right? Take care of yourself for me. I love you. And I'll see you next Monday. Thanks for joining. Bye.